Okay, so let's unpack this proposal. A $5,000 baby bonus.
Yeah, from the Trump administration.
Yeah.
Aimed at tackling the falling birth rates here in the U.S.
Exactly. It's basically a direct cash payment, right, for having a kid.
Seems simple on the surface.
But the context is pretty significant. I mean, we're talking historically low birth rates.
Mm-hmm. And the stated goal is, trying to sort of revive American family formation.
Right. So for this deep dive, we want to get beyond just that headline number.
Yeah, explore what it really means. What are the potential impacts, the ripple effects?
What are the sort of deeper currents this whole thing is tapping into? Because it feels like more than just a check.
Oh, absolutely. It tells us something, potentially, about where we are as a society.
And maybe where we hope to go.
Definitely. So the immediate question that jumps out is this kind of cash bonus really the right tool? Or enough?
Or is it more symbolic? Does it represent something bigger?
Yeah, what does proposing this actually say about how the problem, the declining birth rate, is being understood?
Is it just seen as like an economic thing? Put money in, get babies out?
Or are there, these much broader societal factors involved that maybe this bonus only grants us off?
That feels like the core question here. My first gut reaction was, okay, $5,000.
Mm-hmm.
It could definitely help with those initial costs, the hospital bills pile up fast, diapers, all that stuff. A bit of a cushion.
Sure, that immediate financial hit is real for new parents.
But then I wondered, does it really move the needle on the big long-term decisions, like the years of costs and commitment?
Does it change the fundamental calculation people make?
Exactly. Or maybe the value isn't just the cash. Could it be more about the signal it sends?
What kind of signal?
Like maybe it's a sign that, hey, we're actually starting to think about supporting families more seriously on a national level.
That's an interesting take. Building on that signal idea, even if you argue about the amount, whether $5 is enough,
Yeah.
it could still be seen as a kind of recognition. Maybe a small one, but still recognition that raising kids is, valued.
That the country sees it as important.
Yeah, acknowledging the huge financial load, the personal commitment involved. Maybe it's a first step.
Okay, so if it is a first step,
Mm-hmm.
where could that lead?
Right.
Does this crack open the door for, a bigger rethink of family policies overall?
Like what specifically?
Well, things like proper paid parental leave, maybe,
Mhm.
or really tackling affordable childcare, the stuff that could make a much deeper lasting difference.
That's where it gets really compelling, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You look at other developed countries, right?
Mm-hmm.
The ones with maybe not booming, but more stable or higher birth rates
Yeah.
often do have those more robust support systems for families.
So could this baby bonus, maybe unintentionally, end up being a catalyst for that bigger conversation here?
Could it? What would society even look like if we seriously prioritized family support across the board?
That's almost a hopeful thought, isn't it?
It is.
Imagine a country where deciding to have kids doesn't automatically trigger massive financial stress for so many.
Where young couples feel like they can actually plan for a stable future with kids because there's some kind of framework supporting them.
Yeah. This proposal, whatever its flaws, kind of forces us to ask, is a society's strength really linked to how well it supports its families, its next generation?
And that raises another crucial point, which some of the background material touches on.
What's that?
The messages our current setup sends.
Hmm.
Think about it. Decades of rising housing costs, crushing student debt, childcare costs through the roof.
Right. It hasn't exactly been easy street for young families starting out.
Exactly. Has the system, maybe without meaning to, created these huge headwinds? Sent a message of, you're on your own.
So maybe this bonus is a kind of acknowledgement, a nod that says, okay, we see those headwinds and maybe some national support is actually needed.
It feels like that could be part of it. For a long time, the economic reality just hasn't felt very welcoming for starting a family.
Yeah, not fertile ground, like you said. So this $5,000, even if it's not the whole answer, it could signal a shift.
Yeah.
Recognizing that building a family isn't just a private thing with purely private outcomes.
Precisely. And there's that quote that frames it really powerfully. Building families isn't just personal. It's patriotic. It's how civilizations survive.
Wow. That really elevates it, doesn't it?
It does. It connects your personal choice
Huh.
to have kids with this much bigger picture, this societal imperative.
So thinking about families isn't just like a social policy issue.
It's vital to the nation's future, its health.
And that links to another idea I saw. Hope starts with a cradle, not a campaign slogan.
I like that.
It suggests real optimism, real hope for the future. It's not just about political talk, it's about believing in the next generation,
Right.
actually seeing it happen.
It totally shifts the focus
Hmm.
away from just promises towards the actual foundation of how society keeps going.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder, maybe the low birth rate isn't just about economics or policy. Maybe it also reflects a kind of deeper uncertainty, a lack of hope about the future.
A hope crisis, maybe, more than just a fertility crisis.
Could be. And if that's part of the picture, how does a gesture like a baby bonus, maybe alongside other supports, play into that?
Right.
Could it help foster a bit more hope?
That's a powerful thought. If it is partly about hope, then maybe this $5,000 isn't just cash. Maybe it's a symbol
A symbol of what?
of encouragement, maybe a small spark that signals, hey, we're committed to the future and to the people building it. Could it nudge the outlook slightly more positive?
That spark idea is interesting
Mm-hmm.
because even if the direct financial impact is limited for some,
Right.
the message it sends that the nation values families, values their role, that could contribute to a cultural shift, couldn't it?
A shift where starting a family feels more supported, more valued by society as a whole.
Exactly.
It does feel like there's maybe a need to consciously re-up the importance of family in our culture.
Hmm.
For a while, the focus felt so heavily skewed towards individual success, economic stuff.
Which is important too, of course.
Of course. But maybe this is a chance to say, look, both are vital, family and individual achievement. And maybe they support each other.
Yeah. Which brings up that idea of reframing the bonus, not just as a payment or a handout,
As
as a handshake,
a handshake, how do you mean?
like a symbol of a renewed partnership between the people investing their lives in raising the next generation and a nation that says, we support you in that.
Huh. I really like that framing. A handshake. It turns it from just money into this symbolic act of shared commitment.
Yeah, acknowledging the massive job of raising kids and offering tangible backing.
So when you look at it all together, this proposed baby bonus, it seems like it's about way more than just the $5,000.
Oh, definitely. It's
Huh.
like a trigger for all these conversations about our values, our priorities, what kind of future we actually want.
It really highlights how complex this is. The immediate money need versus the deeper stuff, culture, hope, societal support.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It offers that direct help, potentially.
Yeah.
But it also makes us think harder about what else is needed. What are the essential ingredients for a society where people feel optimistic, empowered to build families?
Which leads perfectly to that final thought we wanted to leave you, the listener, with.
Hmm.
Looking past this specific $5,000 proposal, what do you think needs to fundamentally change? What's needed to create a society where people feel genuinely hopeful and supported enough to start and raise families?
Yeah, what does building a future worth inheriting really mean in practical terms for you?
It feels like a really important question right now, something worth mulling over as we think about where we go from here.